If you could learn the truth of any one mystery, urban legend, or conspiracy theory, what would you choose? The Panama Papers, loads of wealthy people involved and murders attached to it also. What deep sea creatures exist that we haven't found yet? Just how big is the largest squid out there? The truth from when my gran died and the weeks leading up to it. That's sad. She died on the 6th of December. She cancelled her life insurance just days before her death, wrapped every single present for the whole family and name tagged them, over 30 family members, when she usually wrapped them on Xmas Eve. She worked in a small gift shop along with the owner. Both of them died within 3 hours of each other. Whoa. Has puzzled me for years, and hopefully some truth comes out before I pass away. I gotta go with the first ever unsolved mystery that really made me think. Mystery of the Summerton Man. In the 1948, a guy was found dead on a beach in Adelaide, Australia. He was never identified, and months after finding his body they found a fake pocket in his pants. It was torn from a copy of the book Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, I googled that, and had a phrase on it which said Tamam Shud, which means ended or finished in Persian. They found the book that it came from, but the owner denied ever knowing the guy. There was an encrypted message in the book that they found, and it still hasn't been cracked. Apparently there's been a development recently that might identify him as H.C. Reynolds, but it's not 100% certain. It's super interesting. Edit, thank you, who has informed me that that Tamam Shod actually means it's over instead of finished or ended. There we go. Where is the nearest alien civilization? I want to know if they kept going at it with the MK Ultra thing and how they do it now if it is. I want to know everything about the sea. I mean, it's so big. Who knows what new things could be there? My grandfather one day just walked out the door and never came back. This was before I was born. I'm 27. He left behind my grandmother and his 3 children. There was a statewide search. My mum's family never got closure. Although, methinks he might have had another family that he ran away to. But it still baffles me sometimes at night. My grandmother finally held a pseudo funeral / memorial for him last year. Edit, wow, I did not think this would get so much traction. I appreciate everyone for chiming in. Thank you for the silver, kind stranger, and everyone for your interaction. Jennifer Fairgate / Fairgate, it's a fascinating mystery. A woman checks into the Oslo Plaza Hotel, a 5-star establishment, and is found dead in her room 3 days later. Initially assumed to have committed suicide, but there's no blood on her hands, no gunshot residue, no fingerprints on the bullets in the gun or the gun itself, which, in addition to the odd position in which she was found on her bed, really starts looking more like homicide. Additionally, no personal belongings in the room besides clothes, shoes, a travel bag, and an attached full of bullets. Clothes and shoes of all producer labels, designations removed as well. Contents of her stomach indicate that she had died the day before she was found, but a member of staff who knocked on her door heard a gunshot go off right after that, indicating someone's presence inside. The door was also locked from the inside, but no one was there when they got in. Probably my favourite true crime thing. I'd like to know what dinosaurs really looked like. I'm not even super into dinosaurs, but I've always wondered how close we are in our guesses. The extent of Jeffrey Epstein's network of paedophiles. The Coronavina Group. I think that's the name. Basically, a group of 7 hikers start hiking the mountains when 6 of them start bleeding from the eyes, ears, nose and mouth. They all scream, start seizing, one even starts bashing their head on a rock. The remaining survivor flees, but later comes back to the bodies to get supplies. She's found a few days later, but refused to talk about it. A lot of people say it's a deadly nerve agent that Russia was using. This happened in Siberia, I think. But that doesn't explain why the last one survived, even going back and still being unaffected. I want to even know what happened to the MH370 or DB Cooper. Who killed Libby and Abby in Delphi, Indiana in February 2017? Harold Holt, Australian Prime Minister in the 1960s, disappeared while swimming at the beach. He was never found. A man only a year older than me went missing in my town, right near my place of work a few years ago. He just disappeared. I remember seeing the missing posters and the police conducting searches. It has been several years and he is still listed as missing. I think about him from time to time and wonder whatever happened to him. I'd want to know about him. There are so many cases like this. I hope his family and the other families are one day get answers. Where are the aliens? Tell me. Is there treasure on Oak Island? The true age of the Sphinx and its original look. Some animals can't see colour because they don't have the right organs for it. What are all the aspects of life we're missing out on because we don't have the organs to perceive them? Ooh, well, that's heavy. What was before our universe? I probably wouldn't understand the answer though. I want to know what happened to Louis Le Prince, the true inventor of the film camera. Boarded a train but never left it, no body found. I want to know what's in the basement, Erwin Smith. Personally, I want to know what the Catholic Church is hiding in their giant underground library. Assuming he died, are we allowed to learn two truths about one mystery? Where did most of DB Cooper's ransom money end up after he jumped from that airplane? I believe the FBI lets you keep it if you find it, as long as you give them a chance to analyse it for latent print/DNA first. Those bills must be worth a fortune to a collector. Even if they aren't, I'd still get tens of thousands of dollars in cash. Who doesn't want that? So I get my name in the papers for finding Cooper's money, and I get a nice chunk of change to keep. A double whammy of good fortune. Who wrote the Voynich manuscript and why? And why was it written, encoded, or in an unknown language? I like learning about weird mysteries in history, and this is one that remains unsolved to this day, despite quite extensive research through the centuries. That's tough. Jack the Ripper and Andrew Gosden interest me, but I'd pick the Atlas Vampire. In Poland, there's a village called Złe Miasto, bad meat. And the name from the village comes because there's a legend that once in the village, they noticed clients wouldn't return home. It turned out the owner would kill, rob, and then turn the clients to meat. Whoa. I would want to learn the truth around the Mothman and what people were seeing in the days leading up to the bridge collapse. The curse of Oak Island, so my husband will stop watching. So many rabbit holes to go down. What did they find in Roswell, New Mexico in 1947? Who killed John Bennett Ramsey? Who was the Zodiac Killer? What happened to Walter Collins? Who killed the Black Dahlia? Where or what happened to Flight 370? And these are just the top of my head. If I had a chance to sit and think, I'd have a lot more. Not sure if this counts, but I really want a family tree of all living creatures from the beginning of life to now. From the first life form to every human being alive right now. It would be too large to print it. Maybe a very large PNG file in a godlike flash drive with infinite storage. The JFK Assassination. Who was Jack the Ripper? I just want to know what happened to Brian Schaffer. The Zodiac. I find it very interesting and I want to know who they were. The one mystery I would choose to learn the truth about would be the fundamental laws of physics. If we could understand that, well, I can't even imagine what it would be like to have a complete and utterly true account of the laws of physics. It would transform humanity's place in the universe. It is actually truly difficult to imagine the consequences of solving that mystery. The truth about extraterrestrial and maybe even interdimensional life. It's not easy to say. There's no way we are alone in a universe that is basically infinite. The afterlife. I'd like to know Einstein's last words. He muttered them to a non-German speaking nurse and she didn't understand. So much hate. Whether or not there is anything after death. I'd say the mystery of the afterlife. Is there one? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Well, I would if this came true. Where is the Ark of the Covenant? Where is the treasure of the Knights Templar? Would like to know how much truth there is to everything Bob Lazar has stated over the years. I'm very curious why anything exists at all. How does something come from nothing, or how would it somehow always exist? How does experience manifest out of that? I'm a teacher and I teach in Asia. I often have trouble getting students to speak because they are so shy. When I did a unit on unsolved mysteries, the students were so excited to speak about what they thought happened to each person, it was amazing. They tried so hard and really worked at it. Who were the Sea Peoples who attacked everyone during the Bronze Age collapse? What are the 11 herbs and spices in the KFC recipe? I'd love to know what happened to the Beaumont children. Stephen Paddock, the Las Vegas attack. I've always believed there's more to that story. What reason Stonehenge was built for? Atlantis. I would like to know everything about Atlantis, where it was, what it was, and most importantly, what happened to it. The hatchet Borden killings. It was never confirmed that Lizzie ever killed her parents, even though that she was suspicious. Was it her or a third party that was never connected? Natalie Wood. I don't think RJ killed her, but I think he dismissed her screams and got to her body too late and then covered it up. No one believes that no one looked for her till next morning. Parallel universes and whether dark matter is the key to unlocking it or not. I'm related to the Beaumont children who went missing in 1966 in South Australia. So many dead-end leads. I know their father is still alive, although their mother passed away in recent years. They had been apart for many years.